Thank you so much once again for joining us on Live with Chatufa as we continue to give you updates of what is happening in our nation, around our neighboring countries, as well as all over the world. We continue to support especially our brothers and sisters that are in other nations where, this very kind of, attitude is of ZANU-PF is being portrayed. We are seeing quite a lot of other countries slowly joining the wagon of dictators, countries like Kenya, countries like Tanzania. And it's really very disturbing. It's unfortunate and very disturbing. Suluhu government deregisters the church of a bishop who condemned, abductions and disappearances in Kenya. And, it's unfortunate that, why is it people that we thought were going to be better, especially in Kenya, this issue of abductions never happened in the days of, of the late president there, but this woman, when a woman came in, people thought that things were going to be better, but it seems like she has now started reading from the notes of Emerson Mnangagwa. Abductions and disappearances are now the order of the day in Kenya, and many activists are being barred from being in the country. Like what we saw last time, we saw a lot of people that were deported. We saw herself coming and challenging people, speaking so nasty, about other members of the opposition, as well as dragging opposition leaders to court. And these people forget that power is temporary. You can do all this that you can, as much as you can, because you hold power today, but it's not going to be permanent, because one of the fine days you are going to lose power. One of the fine days you are going to leave that office of authority, and you become ordinary. And when you become ordinary, how are people going to be treating you? I don't know. It's like the devil is really enjoying this kind of, capturing of leaders in Africa. Most of our leaders are really driven by demonic spirits that are just causing them to be so vindictive, angry, and, so evil to their own people. While we expect leaders to be there to care for their own people and make sure that their people's livelihoods are better. So we are seeing this problem. Last time we were talking about Wycliffe Chivayo, with the Tanzanians now beginning, of course, to talk about the very same issue, why Wycliffe Chivayo would be so comfortable and cozy in the State House of Tanzania, in the presence of this woman president. And we were saying the same thing to them, Tanzanian brothers and sisters, saying that if you don't take action now, if you are not going to address the issue of Wycliffe Chivayo, one of the so-called most corrupt individuals in Zimbabwe, if you allow him to continue hanging around that president, you can as well forget about the upcoming elections. Because right now I can tell you they are busy already planning on how this woman can win elections through rigging. They did the same thing in Namibia. And this is cancerous for ZANU-PF. They did the same thing in Mozambique. And there's quite a lot of outcry all over. So Tanzanian people, before things get out of hand, I think you really need to be taking this relationship of Gananda of Zimbabwe. When we say Gananda, we are talking about these people that have captured the government and are the most corrupt. You must be very careful why they are hanging around in your country. And if action needs to be taken now, do it now before it is too late. So I don't know why it has to be like this always when people have hope in some of these leaders and they turn around and become very wrong. President Samia Suluhu Hassan's Tanzania government moves to deregister the Glory of Christ Church, Ufufuo na Uzima, which is owned by Kawe, Member of Parliament, and Bishop Josephat Guajima, who publicly condemned abductions and disappearances in the country. the government says his politically motivated sermons are aimed at turning the public against the government, and as such, Bishop Guajima's conduct could endanger peace and national stability. Can you hear what they say always? When they are rebuked, when they are told to their faces that you are abducting citizens, you are disappearing citizens, it must stop. Somebody says it will endanger national stability. What kind of national peace and stability are you talking about when people are being abducted and people are being disappeared in the country? You know, it's quite sad. This language that they want to run with all the time, hiding behind the finger. Guajima, a staunch member of President Hassan's ruling CCM party, publicly declared that he would continue condemning abductions and disappearances as they soil the country's international image. Right, so this is what very exciting and interesting, actually, what we are seeing happening here with a member of her own party being the one who is condemning. These are the leaders we want. You see, this is a God-fearing man, and he's speaking truth to power. This is what we've been saying in Zimbabwe, that we need God-fearing leaders in Zimbabwe, people that will stand for the truth and say the truth without mincing words.
Mnajua, watu wote mnajua kwamba kwenye economic diplomacy kuna mambo mawili. Kuna mahusiano na kuna biashara. Sasa mahusiano ya nchi na nchi yanapoharibika, biashara itakwendaje? Italeta matatizo makubwa kabisa. Na mpaka sasa umefika wakati tunaongelewa kwenye mitandao nchi yetu kama ni mahala pa hatari. Hii inaathiri mambo mengi sana. Kwanza inaathiri utalii wetu. Watu wanaanza kuona Tanzania si mahala salama. Mtu unaweza kuchukuliwa kwenye hoteli na ukatupwa. Watu wanaanza kuona Tanzania sio mahala salama. Why? Mtu unaweza kuchukuliwa ukatupwa na watu wanaojitambulisha watu wa vyombo.
Right, I'm not going to play longer because he wasn't speaking in English. I just played a little bit for those maybe that understand the local language in Tanzania. But this is what it is, family. Very, very sad and unfortunate that we now have dictatorships beginning to be the order of the day in our, especially in Southern Africa. It is a thing that we Southern African citizens must join hands and fight to make sure that we get rid of all these rogue elements and make sure we fight and clear them out and have leaders that will do good, people that will serve their people, people that will stand for the human rights of their people, and make sure that leaders are ready to be corrected, to be rebuked also. If you are a leader, you must be ready, especially when you are in public office. You must be ready to be corrected and rebuked and criticized. But our leaders don't want that, and that is a sign of poor leadership. When you don't want people to criticize what you are doing. So as long as you are leading people, people will have to talk, and you will have to be very, very patient with them, hear their complaints, and the correct way it needs to be corrected. Otherwise, this is sad for Tanzania and Tanzanian people. Otherwise, thank you so much once again for joining me on the show. Let's meet in upcoming shows. You are blessed.